The stage lights burned bright, but in the middle of all the glitter and glamour stood a boy who didn't seem to belong there. His clothes were worn, his shoes slightly torn, and his hands trembled as he held the microphone. The judges looked at him curiously, the audience whispered among themselves, and for a moment, it seemed like doubt was heavier than the silence. Then, the boy lifted his head, his eyes filled with both fear and determination. He had only one chance to prove himself, and it was going to be with a song that carried the weight of generations, Hotel California. His name was Miguel, a young boy from a small village in the Philippines. Life for Miguel had never been easy. His father had passed away when he was just 8, leaving his mother to raise him and his younger sister by selling fruits at the market. Every day, Miguel helped after school, carrying baskets, arranging fruit, and calling out to customers with a smile. But behind that smile, he carried a dream that seemed far too big for someone like him. Music was his escape. Each night, he sang quietly in their little home, his voice echoing softly against the cracked walls. He had no professional training, no expensive instruments, only his heart and his voice. One day, a teacher from his school overheard Miguel singing while cleaning the classroom. Stunned by the purity and depth in his voice, she encouraged him to audition for a local talent show. At first, Miguel resisted. He knew the cost of traveling, the risk of embarrassment, and the judgment he might face. But deep inside, a flame had been lit. He wanted the world to hear him, not for fame, but to give hope to his struggling family. The day of the audition came, and Miguel arrived wearing his only decent shirt, one his mother had carefully washed and ironed the night before. He looked around at the other contestants. Some with flashy outfits, some with confident attitudes, many with years of experience. For a moment, he felt small, almost invisible. But he remembered his mother's words, "Sing with your heart, Miguel, and the world will listen." Those words gave him strength as he stepped onto the stage. When he announced his song choice, the judges raised their eyebrows. Hotel California was no ordinary song, it was a classic, a piece that demanded not just skill but soul. Some in the audience doubted him immediately. But when the first note left his lips, the room fell into silence. His voice was raw yet angelic, carrying both pain and hope. It wasn't just a song, it was a story of his own struggles, woven into every line. Each high note trembled with passion, each word painted the journey of a boy who had endured so much but refused to give up. As Miguel sang the chorus, the audience's skepticism melted away. Some people closed their eyes, letting his voice wash over them like a wave of emotion. Tears rolled down faces in the crowd. Even the judges, hardened by years of hearing countless performances, found themselves leaning forward, captivated by the honesty in his singing. The final note rang out, echoing through the hall like a prayer, and for a few seconds, there was nothing but silence. Then, the room erupted in applause so thunderous it shook the stage. The judges stood, clapping with tears in their eyes. One of them whispered, "This boy just turned pain into beauty." Another judge, unable to hold back emotion, slammed the golden buzzer, showering the stage in confetti. Miguel fell to his knees, overwhelmed, as the audience roared with joy. His mother, watching from the side, covered her face with her hands, crying uncontrollably. It was not just a victory for Miguel, it was a victory for every sacrifice his family had made, every night they had gone hungry, every tear they had shed in silence. But Miguel's journey wasn't just about winning a talent show. It was about proving that greatness can rise from the most unexpected places. His story became an inspiration, reminding everyone that talent has no price tag, and dreams are not reserved for the wealthy. His performance of Hotel California was shared across the world, touching millions of hearts. People saw not just a boy singing, but a soul pouring out his truth. By the end of the show, Miguel stood taller, not because of the confetti or the applause, but because he had found his voice and shared it with the world. His mother hugged him tightly, whispering, "Your father would be proud." And in that moment, Miguel knew he had given his family more than money or fame, he had given them hope. The story of Miguel teaches us that no matter how poor, broken, or small you may feel, your gift has the power to change lives. All it takes is courage, persistence, and a heart that refuses to stop dreaming. Miguel's voice shocked everyone that night, but what truly moved the world was the reminder that sometimes, the greatest treasures come from the humblest of beginnings. This story will hold viewers for 15 minutes when narrated with the right pauses, emotions, and background music. It builds tension with Miguel's struggles, delivers emotional depth during his performance, and ends with a powerful, inspiring message.